Some of our FastRack customers have asked if it's possible to modify a FastRack that they already own so that it folds in half to make it easier to transport and take up less space in the vehicles. And the simple answer is yes, it is possible, but it's not a simple task. It's quite difficult, and there's certain things you need to be aware of before you even start doing this, so that's the reason we're making this video. These are the components you need when you want to modify your FastRack to a folding version. You get two beam caps that will cover the cut ends and also give you the position of the holes for the hinge, along with steel popper bits so they can be fixed to the beam. A super sturdy hinge. I haven't found one that's stronger yet, so that's a really good bit of kit. The fixing screws and nuts for the hinge, and finally the clasp that will hold the two halves of the folding rack together in the folded position. So we have our beam marked on the centre line all the way around, so that's ready for cutting. We have two holes marked underneath where we're going to need access to the back of the hinge to attach the screws to the securing bolts. So we'll drill them first to keep the whole thing a bit more rigid, and then we'll cut the beam in half. In order to make the drilling of the holes easier, we open up the bottom of the rack to spread the two sides, and this allows us more access into the hole itself. We drill a pilot hole, a small 4mm hole is adequate. And then we go in for the kill, this nasty bit of kit. This is a 32mm starette hole saw. And it's frightens the willies out of me, to be honest, but here we go. We take a deburring tool which will remove the sharp edges from the inside. Obviously we don't want people catching the fingers on those. And there we are. So that's ready to cut in half now. Now I'm using an angle grinder, but you can use a hacksaw or a bandsaw like that. I prefer to use an angle grinder for accuracy. And again, deburr the insides. And that's ready for the end cap putting on it. the end caps, the easiest way to put the top on first and then punch it in with the heel of your hand, and again open up the sides of the beam. Struggling here a bit. That's it. And that's just a temporary spacer I've made out of steel. I do a lot of these, so I made it out of steel because I've got a lot of steel lying about. But you could make one from timber, that would be fine. And so if we put the top on first, and then we go for the bottom. Let's give it a tap. Make sure that's seated home. And again. Again with the rivets. And that's one side done. We can take our spacer out, and that's ready for the hinge. So I'll do the other side, then I'll show you how to put the hinge on. So now we've mounted the beam caps, we can mount the hinges, which line up perfectly with the holes in the beam caps. And for that we need a 6mm drill bit, which will do the job for us. And so here we go. A little note there, if you ever buy a Bosch drill, don't, because the chucks are rubbish. So, here we go, ready for the hinge. In fact, I'll throw that away. Take a piece of junk. And as you can see, I've already drilled the other beam as well. I'll do half of the beam. And now we just drop the bolts in. They're countersunk, so they'll fit nice and flush. And then we just need to put the nuts on and tighten them up. Now, because this needs powder coating, I'm not actually going to tighten them up all the way, but I'll show you the process. So what I do is I have a 10mm spanner with a washer taped over one side, so that the nut can go in and doesn't fall through. And then when you put the spanner in the hole, you can actually feel it engage on the bolt. And then when you tighten your you can see the nut is on the inside. And you go around, repeat that with all the nuts on all the bolts, and finally, when you're ready, I use a torque wrench, and this torque wrench will go up to 14 Newton meters, which is the maximum you want to use, simply because you'll start to deform the inside of the opening there. And take it up. And as usual with an Allen with a torque wrench, when you get to the right top,
it clicks, and so you obviously stop, and you can see it there, it just starts to deform, so that's as tight as you ever want to take it. And you'll go around all four putting the nuts on and tightening them up, and that just leaves the final fixings, and that's these, and they just want to rivet on one either side with the rivets provided, and then it will latch over and hold the two together. And there we are. That's all you need to do.